Hello guys, welcome to the Mystic and the Medium show. I'm Kate May.
And I'm Suzette Carlisle-Fawley.
This week we have animal communicator Polly Harnett with us. Welcome, Polly.
Hello.
Our shows are about...
What we're going to do is we're going to have very interesting people that are going to join us.
You're a very interesting person.
She is a very interesting person. And once a month on our chat show we'll have somebody and we'll just be asking them about their journey so far, a little bit about what they actually do and anything else that they want to share with us. And with Polly, animal communicator, and the lovely thing that she can share with us is her connections with our pets that are either still here or have sadly gone before us.
I did put out a post earlier on, and we have been lucky enough to get quite a few people posting their lovely pets, so we've managed to get quite a lot, which is great. So we've picked a few that Polly is going to give some messages to, but before we do that we're going to ask Polly, and if you want to interact as well and ask any questions, feel free to, and after the show we can get back to you on that. But we're just going to ask Polly about her journey. So Polly, how did you become an animal communicator? What made you want to do it? Where did you get, how did it all happen?
Well, it's a long story really, because it all started...
We haven't got long.
I will cut it right down. I will cut it right down. Basically, I was always absolutely massive animal lover. Very spiritual as well. My mother was a psychic, and even though she never did anything with it, she was so psychic that it was scary. As in, she knew what I'd done before I'd done it. So I inherited this gift that my children are unpleased about.
Yeah, every mother's dream.
Because I understand everything that she now went through. But if you go back in my life, I had animals all of my life. My mum and my dad had... we had horses in the family, we had cats, kittens, we had ended up with a dog that was deaf, that was going to be put down if we didn't have it. You know, all these things. I had rabbits, guinea pigs, gerbils, hamsters, ferrets, you name it, I think I owned it.
You're kind of like a bit of a magnet for animals,
a total
really.
Magnet. And
Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah, and totally the ones that are usually the sob stories. I'm a real sob story sort of girl.
So that's, you know, the rescue, so the energy that you had was almost as if the animals were drawn to you because you'd offer that space for them.
Absolutely.
To be safe again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you find it started with like communicating to your own animals first?
Yeah, I understood. It's not in the way I do now necessarily, because it is actually very, very hard to communicate with your own animal, because you've got that emotional link to the animal like you would have your own children, so you worry about them. But somebody else might say, look, no, put it into perspective.
Yeah, I guess it's like doing a reading for someone you know.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Absolutely, because you have like an emotional link.
Yeah.
So they showed me in different ways. I totally know if they weren't well, or if they were unhappy, or if they were off colour. I usually know where to be drawn to for them for healing and things like that. And usually I'll know if there's an issue with them. So yeah, it's different with your own animal.
So you're already a psychic medium anyway, and then you decided to branch actually into doing animal communication. You did your courses, but you teach that now, don't you? Do you teach animal communication as well now?
I teach animal healing and communication as two separate. First of all, the communication, because communication is really important. There's things that vets might pick up, or you yourself might pick up, that they're unhappy, or for whatever reason feeling depressed. Because they can be depressed animals. Sometimes that is through a health issue, sometimes it is through something that you've changed in the home, or something's changed in the home, or something's moved out.
Whenever I go away, even if it's just for a couple of days, my cat baby loses its hair. So when I come back, after 3 or 4 days, it'll have bald patches. Every single time. And we've worked it out from the last time I went away in February, that it gets little stress bald patches.
Yeah, it is stress related.
Anxiety, yeah.
And I don't have to be away long, 3 or 4 days, and it happens. Yeah. So what's the weirdest thing, or what's the funniest thing that you've had with your animals?
Well, the funny thing is that when I teach people to do this work, I always tell them the first thing they have to do, apart from getting permission from the animal, is to share a secret, because you've got to imagine that you've got to get their trust. And so I share a secret with them, and I hope to God that no one else can communicate with animals, because otherwise they'd find out my secret. But they also give me a secret of theirs. And when I had, not the last course, the course before that, we had some clients come in for my people to work with, you know, and to learn from and things. And we had a lady come in who I know, and I won't mention names, but it was very funny, and she won't mind me sharing the story. Everybody is sitting in a semicircle with this lady and her dog in front of them, and the dog started communicating with me and was showing. I shared my secret with the dog. It was a miniature schnauzer, and the schnauzer decided to share the secret with me that my friend's husband laid pretty much every single day in his like a dirty, not dirty but off-coloured, not dirty but off-coloured like vest, and he used to eat Doritos. Sit and eat Doritos on the sofa while watching the telly, and then dropping bits of Dorito, and the dog was literally hoovering it up. And I thought, shall I tell her? And at the end, I did. When all the communication had happened, she was absolutely killing herself. She goes, oh God, she goes, I keep telling him to throw that vest away. So yeah, they share lots of secrets. Some about eating poo, some about eating.
Have you ever had one poo on you?
I have not had one poo on me.
Or
I've had one
on
wee on me. Yeah, I've had a couple wee on me actually. Yeah. And a lot of that time is that's nerves because or they're in a different environment.
Yeah. So what's your most? Do you normally work on dogs or cats or what do you normally? Or just different all the time?
Mostly it will be dogs, then cats, and then horses. Dogs and horses tend to have the most issues. Cats just have their own agenda, even though that obviously they still want communication, they still want to communicate, they still want to be healed. They're a little bit different to deal with. Dogs often really want help, and or horses as well often really want help.
And sorry, go on.
So what's the most unusual pet or animal somebody's contacted you to work with?
Have you got a phobia? If you like, do you like spiders? If someone come to you with a spider, would you be like?
I would do it. I just probably wouldn't touch it.
Yeah.
Which you can do. I haven't actually had a spider yet, or a snake. I have done a lizard. A parrot actually was one that came in on our last course, and that was really interesting. Really interesting.
Yeah, because they live till they're about 100 years old or something, parrots, don't they? They live a long time.
They do live a long time.
Honestly, anybody that's watching, really don't go up and go, actually, you got it wrong. I just know they live a long time. And so they have lots to tell.
They do. And a tortoise as well.
Oh, and they live for a long time as well.
You put a tortoise in the freezer, don't you? In the fridge in the winter.
No.
You can do.
In the fridge. My friend's got...
I know. Listen, if Debbie Edmonds is watching, she doesn't put them in the fridge. I think she puts them in the loft.
My friend puts hers in the fridge. Really weird.
Yeah,
It's got its own little
do.
fridge. So what about when an animal... No, it's weird, isn't it? See you in the spring.
It's hibernation, but I never thought
be weird.
Fridge. Yeah.
Well, that's with animals that are alive. So how do you do the connection when they're passed over? Is it the same as when you connect to a human? How would you do it when... Do they show you a photo normally? Do people come to you with a photo? Or do you work like clairvoyantly where you see the animal?
It depends. I can work from just linking into the person, because obviously they've got that link to the animal, or a photo. It really depends. If some people come specifically for that, some people will come for a reading and then their dog will come through, or their horse will come through, or again we've had a parrot come through. Actually, when I did a demonstration of mediumship, we had a lady that came through that there was an unfortunate end to a Budgie Guard. And it was very unfortunate as well. I laugh now, it wasn't funny, but it was just the situation that was very funny, and picked up on that. I knew what colour it was, what its name was, and it just came through because because it was linked to her. And
people, the one thing I've found working as medium is, and having pets myself, is they're part of the family, and again, the Budgie Guard is triggered. I was doing one with Helen Craddock. And there was a group of ladies, and she was giving them mother blah blah blah, and fine and accepting it, and it was all good stuff, and then she got their Budgie Guard. Well, they couldn't have been more elated if they tried, and it was and the Budgie Guard just brought the whole room to life. So I think people underestimate the actual power that animals
absolutely.
can bring in sometimes.
They are like I was saying earlier, when I did a reading for someone and quite a few members of their family came through that I was chuffed with, let alone them. And then at the end they said, great, thank you, but we really wanted our dog to come through. And I was like, okay, so I've just put 7 people through and you want your dog? Fine, but,
Go see Polly.
It's funny.
Go see Polly.
Go see Polly,
Go see Polly, for sure do that.
I know when my cat passed, I remember one of the cats feeling it on the bed, literally feeling the paws like it was there, it was there. So on that note,
Absolutely, I'm just thinking that.
We shall move on. Polly, we have some people that have already sent their pictures in.
Thank you very much.
Polly has some names for us, so we're going to start off with the first one that Polly's been drawn to.
Okay.
We can't get to everyone, unfortunately, but
thank you everybody for sending them in, and we did have a really good response. So Polly really had to have a look and choose who and what she was drawn to at the time. So
okay, so like you said, we wish we could do all of them. Unfortunately, there's just not.
Should we
it's
show
just
that
not
to
possible.
the camera? Can we show that picture?
So we've
who
got
sent that in?
this dog here.
That dog there. Who's sent that in? Oh look, we get that's a hand that
the magic
there's
hand.
a magic hand that helps
And
us.
this-
Comes
what's-
from nowhere.
where
If you
does
haven't
this-
seen that hand before, it is on the Ace of Cups. So that's Toby Dog, apparently, and Leandra Hunter. So I hope you're joining us, Leandra. I'll
Put some
just read
hearts up
out.
if you are.
I'll just read out what you have put for everybody else. My Toby Dog has been through so much in the last 6 months, as he was my granddad's dog for 8 years, and my granddad passed when we took Toby in. I really hope he gets picked and he's alive. Okay. Now I haven't linked in. It's just I just got drawn to a few, so I took a picture of them. So what I do is I just look at the picture, and it's always good to have a picture with the eyes present, because the eyes are the window to the soul. Okay.
A cute little
Oh,
dog.
he's cute.
He is absolutely gorgeous. Right, okay, the first thing I pick up on was a lot of confusion around him at the time of the passing. It's like he spent, and I hope this will make sense, and please put feedback on for later, it feels like he was literally all the time with your grandfather, because it feels like they were like part of the same being or part of the same thing. He feels like he was unsure about being like rehomed. He was like very unsure about it. He is actually very happy now, but it did take him a little bit of time. It feels like he was sort of his personality changed a bit. He's got very protective as well, so I hope this makes sense. It feels like he really needs to protect who's around him at the moment. I know with life there's death, unfortunately, but he says he still sees your granddad. He's talking about some glasses. I don't know if somebody has still got the glasses that were granddad's, and there was a watch as well. And he's talking about that. I don't feel that the watch is out, so I hope, or out of a box. So please, whoever has this, get it out, because he'd like to sniff it, because it still feels like it smells like granddad. He's saying he's very happy where he is now, but I don't know if whoever has him now has moved his bed, because he's saying about moving his bed, and he's not sure about that. He doesn't like where it was. He likes it where it was. So if you felt like it had to be moved, I don't know why that is. He's saying that he's a bit grumpy about it. And he's also talking about a change of food, because I hope this makes sense as well, he does blow off a lot, right? He's saying he's got a bit of a grumbly tummy. I just feel like he shouldn't be having something like anything cereal based, because he's saying that has been interfering with him, and like I said, he keeps blowing off and it's not pretty. I'm going to say it's quite loud as well. He would like to be sleeping on a bed. I don't know if he's allowed, okay, but he would like to be. But he likes being up high, and he likes being snuggled up. And he's showing me with a gentleman. He likes to snuggle up with a gentleman. And he wants to go for a walk where the woods are. So I don't know if you've been there recently. So it's like where the woods are. It's like I'm seeing, Hillsy Lines. Okay, I don't know where you live, Leandra. But it just feels like I'm seeing like Hillsy Lines, and I'm also seeing Queen Elizabeth Country Park. So please take him to there, or whoever's looking after him now, please take him there, because he really wants to go back.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
So I hope that makes some sense. And by the way, Grandad is around and he can breathe better now. So I hope that makes sense.
Right. Lovely. Who do we have as the next one?
Right, we have.
Oh,
Okay, we have Freya.
Freya.
I hope I've got the right picture to the information. So,
Freya, here's our mysterious hand that comes in.
Freya. And who was it that sent this in?
I'm not sure. Bear with me. Liz Newman.
Liz. Thank you, Liz.
Hey Liz.
So Liz has written, Freya's alive. The question is, why is she so aggressive towards other dogs? And why won't she go on walks with other people, even if I'm there but not holding the lead? She says she will refuse to walk. Okay, right, let's have a little look at her.
Those eyes.
Okay, I'm just linking in with her now. She's very much a protector, and I want to say she's quite alpha as well, so alpha male even though she's female. I do feel like she's a little bit imbalanced within the sacral chakra, if you know about chakras, Liz. She's imbalanced, almost like she feels like she's in the wrong body. She sort of feels like she needs to be a man, and she's very much looking after everybody. Now, she says there has been a bit of turmoil in the past, or some anxiety around you or whoever's living in your home, lots of worry, and she said that she's almost taken it upon herself to protect you at all times. Now, actually, you'd be looking at her in her sort of nervousness sometimes and thinking that you're looking after her, but that you're not, okay? She's looking after you. She's very much, like I said, the protector. Also, I really want to say that she could do with putting some amethyst and some rose quartz in her bed or where she sleeps. Now, it would have to be either sewn in or hanging above so she can't get it. So please know that that would be really beneficial to her. I really want to say as well that she could do with seeing an animal behaviourist, for the fact that I just feel like there could be a few things that they could do to be able to do this. Now, as well, she's saying that she would like to go for a walk with somebody else, but it's like she wants to go in the car and walk home. So please take that on board as well. It might be that somebody puts her in the car and then walks home. It's like getting her confidence on this, so that she does know she's going home, even if it's just round the corner to the post box, wherever that is. And then just walking home from there, so she knows that she is going to go home. At the moment, she seems worried that she's not going to go home if she goes with somebody else, which might sound a little bit out there, but she definitely is feeling that as well. Now, she's also in her back legs or the right hip, I want to say, and it stems from the bottom of her spine. It just feels a little bit achy there. But if you do any healing, I want to say on the heart chakra and the sacral chakra, she's also a bit fight and flighty, so I'd also say with the solar plexus, she's just a little bit imbalanced, and she could really do with some healing, and like I said, some crystals, maybe in her bed, tiger's eye as well, because it would ground her a bit. She's a little bit up in the air, so she is happy. Like I said, she just wants to protect you all the time, and she really does think she's a man.
Thank you, Liz. Who do we have next?
Okay, so we have a pony.
Pony.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you can... Oh, no, that didn't work.
Yeah,
Right. Okay, so we have a pony.
With Pony.
Who is it?
Oh, mysterious.
Oh, it's not a mysterious hand now, it's my hand. Okay, Pony, who's this one?
So, we have Emma Beale.
Hello, Emma, thank you.
And Emma Beale says that she's... You haven't put a name, but that doesn't matter. She's my soulmate and I adore her. If you could tell her that as well, I would be overjoyed. My question is, what do you need from me so you can be at your happiest? Okay, and healthiest. Sorry, I cut that bit off. Okay, so let's just tune into the pony. Okay, now I don't know if you bought her off the moors, because she's talking about the moors. She's showing me like vast open land, and a very, very small foal, and lots of horses or ponies running free. It's either her or her mother here, or there's a connection there. Now, please, again, if you can give us some feedback, that would be brilliant. She's an absolute sweetheart. I'm going to say she feels like almost like she came into your life to heal you, okay, or ground you. It's like when you are with her, it's like nothing else matters, and she knows that because you talk to her all the time. Now, I don't know if you say the F word a lot because she's saying it, okay, and not in an aggressive way. But she's just saying, it's like, do you know when you could have a good moan at something, and she's saying that you have a good moan to her.
Offload.
Yeah, because she's saying that she knows more secrets about you than anyone in the world. She also says you like horses better than people, and you've told her that as well. Now, she's also talking about a sore foot. Now, I want to go to the right-hand side at the front, so just bear that in mind. She's also talking about, I don't know if you've put her on a smaller field or smaller paddock with not so much grass, because she's grumbling about that, even though it's for her best interest and she knows it, okay? She's also talking about herbs or self-selecting herbs and herbs that would make her feel better. So I feel like if you could go to like somebody that specialises in this, but I want to choose her own, so she could like get a pack. I do know somebody that does this, so if you want to know this, please contact us and I will put you in touch. But she's like wants to like have herbs because she likes the taste of them, particularly mint and chamomile. Please give her chamomile, she said. She's talking about getting on her a bit more, or somebody getting on her a bit more, okay? Because she's like, I feel like she's quite hardy and that you could easily get on her. But she's also talking about her saddle. If she's been wearing a saddle, it's just something about the girth, and it just seems to be pinching a little bit in on her left-hand side. So she's just saying about getting something a little bit thinner around the girth area. Now, she's also talking about natural horsemanship, so I don't know if you've been doing this with her, but I feel like she likes it or would like it as well. She's very clever, a very clever pony, but I'm going to say she can be a little bit like, nah, I'm not doing that sometimes. But just know that she actually really does enjoy it. Like I said, herbs seem to be where she wants to go with this. Definitely more, she wants more grass, but please don't give it to her, because she could really do with not, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, she just says as well, I don't know if you've had fibroids or if she has had some sort of fibroids, so I'm just seeing fibroids with her as well. But like I said, please don't worry about that. Just know that she's absolutely happy with everything, and just know that she's there for you as much as you're there for her.
Are you finding, like, with all the pictures, that you're also picking up something as well?
Yeah,
because it's weird,
yeah,
isn't it? I'm not going to say anything because but it is weird. We haven't got a lot of time left. Can we just look at Alfie?
Is that for Paula?
Yeah.
Alfie.
Right, and then
Alfie.
we can see what comes in.
Right, I did meet Alfie once, but that was ages and ages and
Alfie's
ages ago.
Passed.
So Alfie is the lab.
Yes.
Right, okay. Paula, hello.
Do you have a picture of Alfie?
No, it's all right, I've memorised it.
No, just for the people.
Oh, for the people. I've just turned my data off.
Okay, don't worry. Don't worry.
We can put one on later. Alfie is a lab and was Paula's dog for a long time. Okay. Right. Okay. Now it does feel like there was a massive bond between Paula and the dog, a massive bond between her and the dog. She knows he knows that. Things had to change at one point, so it feels like with Paula's circumstances things changed. He knows that had to happen, but he feels all right because he was still kept in the family, he was still kept together. He's talking about his back legs, okay? I don't know if you know, do you know his back legs?
Yeah, I know.
He's
about
talking about the back legs and everything. Everything seems to be going downhill quite rapidly with him. He said that he has passed away, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know Alfie. He's talking about his back legs. He's also talking about, I don't know if there was something with the heart, because I want to go to the heart, because he just feels exhausted, he feels puffed out. But not now, obviously, he's over. Now, he's also saying regarding Paula, he knows what's going on, okay? He knows that there's going to be a shift again for her in a good way. But I want to say love life and future there, okay? Because he wants her to be settled for once. He wants her to be settled and happy, and he's like giving his permission, if you like, for her to like move on and be happy again. Now, there does seem at a point as well that she might get another dog, okay? But it feels like there'll be a joint responsibility over this, and it doesn't feel like a big dog either. It does feel like a small dog. He's very happy where he is. It was the right time for him to go, so please, Paula, no, it was the right time. You made the right choice. You made the right decision around if you had to have him euthanised, because he's saying that he's definitely was so tired, he just had enough, and he's really, really happy now.
Oh, lovely.
I hope that's all
Thank
right.
you. Yeah. Thank you ever so much, Polly.
No worries.
Definitely an energy around as you're speaking, and just
all the pictures. It's like it's weird.
So
it's weird. We probably could have carried on bits over you as well if we were rude, but we're not. We're not. So thank you guys for watching. Just a quick plug on our bits and pieces and on the productions bits and pieces. So this is filmed and produced by Spiritual Productions, which you can see on Facebook and you can see on YouTube. Please like the page and follow the YouTube, because without the YouTube subscribers, none of this can happen. We also have our own YouTube, Mystic and the Medium, and our own page of Mystic and the Medium. Please follow, join the group, blah blah blah. Polly Harnett is also on Facebook. Do you have a group or a page? Or is it
I have
just under
yeah,
Polly?
I tend to if people join my page, it's Polly Harnett. It does say medium on there, and then I can link you to the page. And I've got an animal healing communication page, and obviously also a mediumship.
So we'll also
page.
pop a link onto the Mystic and the Medium page so you can see that. So again, thank you very much. Sorry that we didn't get through every single page, every single picture that got sent in to us. We will try and filter through a few and put some messages on before we come on to the next show anyway. So if you have sent anything in, keep an eye on that.
So look out for our next guest. We will be posting that quite soon, as we have got somebody that we're in talks with. So we'll be really excited to have them. Yeah, that's really funny. I always say volunteer, and somebody else says victim. So, but please,
join
us, like us. Also, we'll be looking at our next demonstration that Kate and I will be doing. So, the Mystic and the Medium, where things really get interesting, is not just our chat show. We also have a live show which will be the Mystic of the Tarot cards and the Medium with the Spirit World. So look out for that as well. But thank you everybody for joining us this evening.
Thank you,
Polly.
Thank you for having me.
And it's been really interesting, and I've certainly learned something, because I've never really met Polly before at all. So for me, that's been really great. So I'll be looking into that a little bit more, because we've got two lovely ones and a few that have gone before us. So yeah, great. So thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you very much. Catch you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.